Oh, hey everybody, Dogmer here back in DC Worlds Collide. Today, gonna do the Digital Universe Kappa. If you're not familiar with this, this is the one after you get the tiger. Um, one or two before the tiger, these things get really interesting in that they become more puzzle-like and not just throw in some teams and smash your way through them. You actually have to think and figure out the clues. There's different buffs, debuffs, as you'll see in this one. This one's actually really interesting. The first thing I'm going to suggest to you is consider only picking one or two colors that you want to use throughout. For me, this happens to be green and blue. This is just the team I usually run anyway. I'm using Jessica, Green Lantern, Kid Flash, Pandora, Lex Luthor, and Nightwing. This is more of a shielding team. Now, I am quite big on this account. This is my second account, technically. My first account I kind of abandoned because I didn't have any good RNG luck on getting characters. This one seems to have all the luck getting all the characters, just about. I am playing this mainly because this is a shield team. So one of the things, if you don't know, if you have Jessica Cruz, the way you want to play her, along with Lex Luthor, is normally you'd want to wait until you have at least 6 energy, which is a couple rounds in, like that, so you get max stacks and do a ton of damage like that. So you want to do quickly Lex Luthor and then Jessica manually. Now, this one's going to be a little bit easier for me because, like I said, I am outscaling it. This is going to be our first fault. This is why you want to pick one particular color because you're going to have to pick a defense. There's going to be a few different things like here. Obviously, I'm not using red or strength, so I don't care if I debuff strength, defense down 25%. The other thing is that the mobs you face here are roughly level 150 to 160. I don't remember anything higher than that, but there could be at the end. And the reason being, that gives you an idea of where you need to be. Power-wise, you need to have a team about 400k power, give or take, depending on who you're using, of course. Obviously, if you bring in a bunch of bad characters, it's not going to work too well. But I can pretty much just smash through this. See I'm getting Lex. This is an incorrect playing of Jessica because she only had 6. And then she does her ultimate. I didn't wait long enough. I've been kind of practicing that. I'm still not used to that. But that's just me personally. So we're just going through here. We're going to get a buff now. Well, this is going to depend again on who you brought in. I chose Intellect because Jessica's my main damage dealer, she being blue or Intellect. I'm really not running into any problems. This is a 300k power team here. Honestly, with my team, I don't have to worry about it. This would be normally a pretty quick team because of Flash. If you're unfamiliar with Flash, he does speed up the entire other side and knocks back your turn meter. As you can see on the bottom here, you can see this is how your energy is being built. I used Lex too soon. I only had 3 energy, which means I cannot immediately go into Jessica, which means she doesn't get as many stacks, which means she doesn't do as much damage. You see now because I can use her ultimate here though. You can see how little she hits for, only at 70k. Whereas if you watch some of these other later nodes, you're going to see her hit for almost 200. So we got another fault. Now we have to choose a trade again. Again, I picked the red one because I don't have any red. Of course, if you're using like a burn team, you might be using strength. So maybe you'd be not using somebody who's like green. Or of course, if you could technically have an all blue team, depending on your roster. This is a shield heal team that we're going against. So if you're using, say, the Poison Ivy poison team, this would be a great counter to this team. I'm just smashing it with a sledgehammer, though. I do use the bat cycle over I do have the tiger, but I found the bat cycle to be better. That's just a general opinion. Eventually, once I get the chair, we'll go in with that. I forget the name of the chair. So the things about this team is the reason why I'm using Pandora and Kid Flash. Kid Flash, of course, is a healer. He's very good at that, even though it's single target. Another option for Kid Flash would be Black Canary. She does do a team heal. Okay, here's where we got to actually pick who do we want to defense down. We obviously don't want to do that to our tanks. I just choose support because I do have a couple support in Pandora and Kid Flash, but I don't take too much damage because they're in the back row. And my tanks are going to hold up with Luther and especially Nightwing, Nightwing's definitely the best non-legendary tank in the game right now. And depending on how you're using Luther, he could be better than Luther also. The best tank, of course, being Superman, but he's legendary. That's a whole other story. This node I was just kind of playing around. I wanted to do Nightwing's ultimate for some odd reason. This is another heavy heal team again. If you're having trouble, I'd bring in a Poison Ivy poison team. Her Scarecrow minimum. Penguin would be nice to have. Usually Grodd goes with that team, and then whoever you want for the second tank doesn't really matter. There's no real paths in this one. You just go on a linear path. You don't have to make decisions like that inside this one. Okay, now we get a buff. So obviously I went with DPS characters because again, Jessica's my main DPS. You can see we're at level 155 now. The characters are mostly purple, and there's even some all blue nodes. Just letting them do their whole lot of basics and their stunts, specials. Each character is a little bit different what they call it. I don't know why. Getting into more of a physical damage team. Mirror Master can hit the back row, unfortunately. You see here, I'm actually holding off. Wait until I have enough. I have at least 6 energy because now I can do Lex, and I immediately have to click Jessica. Because when you do that, now she has 12 stacks and whacks 170k hit AoE. And if you want to see how much Jessica did, she did 717,000 damage, which you can see is way more than everybody else. Gives you an idea of just how powerful Jessica can be. So now we're getting stuck with a fault where we're decreasing max hit points. Obviously, you don't want to do that to the tanks. I just picked DPS. Because of I'm using a shielding team, that gives me a bit more buffer on that. So this is more of a Batman group, a lot of single target damage. Batman takes out tank characters. Robin back there, Damian Wayne, he takes out the back row character. If you get into that situation. Poison Ivy and Superboy wouldn't really do anything on that team. Again, I wait for the max energy. Immediately hit Luther and immediately hit Jessica right after him. 10 stacks, 150, 200k hit on Superboy. Jessica is definitely an amazing character if you have her. But you need to really build her up. So now we're going to get an energy return to us, effectively making Jessica now from a 3 to a 2 energy, which means now I could do it technically with just 5 energy. So you see here, this is all blue. Even though they're 388k, it's all blue characters, meaning they're not going to be that tough despite their power level. This Digital Universe does definitely throw you for a little bit of a loop if you've been very obsessed with countering the colors. You're going to kind of have to sacrifice that for this Digital Universe and just go with your strongest team that you can put together reliably that can get you through these nodes. Preferably 1 or 2 colors, like I said before in the beginning. There we go. There's Lex. I can immediately use Jessica. And big hit kills them all. Got another fault. We have to decrease defense of either the front row or back row. Obviously, you want to pick the back row because they're less likely to get hit. Not guaranteed not to get hit because of obviously characters like Poison Ivy, Mirror Master, Damian Wayne, who target the back row despite the front row. This is just Temple Frankensteins and Black Manta, who can be actually quite a devastating DPS if you're not careful. I got my energy now. I kind of screwed it up. I didn't do the right combo, but it doesn't really matter because I'm just smashing through. You see there is no choices. Okay, now we get, obviously I want to increase the back row because that's where my DPS is. So 25% more attack, and she's, like Jessica's going to hit even harder. We ended on to a 389k team. Don't underestimate Red Robins. They do heal. Even though he's a purple character, he can be annoying. Plus he has a silence. So if you're trying to punch across or punch up, think about that. And of course Grodd can knock back turn meter when you have debuffs. You can see there's a silence on Nightwing. Now I have the energy I need. I can pull with the Lex Luthor Jessica combo. Big hit, kills them all. As you can see that again, Jessica 720k. It's interesting, my second highest damage is Nightwing actually. So now we're going to have to decrease the max hit points. Obviously we want to do the back row characters. We want to leave our tanks as tanky as we can get them. So this is a double Bizarro plus Firestorms. Still hanging out around 391k now. So 400k team should be okay. As long as your tanks can survive the hits and protect your back row, you should be okay. And here comes the combo again. And surprisingly, we didn't kill the last Firestorm, but he died anyway. Get another buff. Some more energy returning. Could have done front row too. Make Lex a little bit quicker. There's an all blue. It's just all Batgirls. They kind of give you a little bit of a break. But remember, that means if it's all one character, they're all going to go right in a row. So you're going to get 5 hits if you don't kill any of them. Here they go. But once you start killing them, you get some turn meter back. I mean, you take control of the turn order. Here's the Jessica Lex Luthor combo again. And they die. So the characters who would work well would be like a Constantine or Green Arrow if you have them leveled up high enough. Especially Constantine. So we're going to decrease either attack, defense, or hit points. I chose defense. I generally want to keep my hit points. So this is an all Scarecrow node, which means a ton of poisons. Your healing is definitely going to be reduced. This is again a great time to use a shield team. If you don't have Nightwing on a shield team, Bane actually works well. You can support him with Kid Flash. He does have a chance to stun, although he does drop off at higher levels. There goes the big hit. Let me see, we have one more left. So now we get to either increase crit, lifesteal, or speed. I didn't go for crit. The way Jessica works, once you get her to rank 8, she has 100% crit anyway. So I went with speed, which I think is probably the best for anybody to use. And you can see the last note is at 393k, all Constantine. Constantine's a great character, does a lot of damage, but one thing about him, he is kind of flimsy. So when you're going against this team, you should be able to get through them fairly quickly. He does need tanks to protect him normally. Actually, I have to use Pandora's special there. Oh, ultimate. Sorry. So that's what I get. So that does it. That's the end of Digital Universe Kappa. Let me know if you need me to do the earlier Digital Universes before this. Until next time, I hope this video is helpful and informative.